The videos you're going to be watching are updates to the brain dump system that we use for agents to communicate with your transaction coordinator during the transaction process. These new brain dumps will be available in Broker Mint on the dashboard as always. There will no longer be four, there will be five. We've broken them into three for the buyer process and two for the seller process. For the buyer process, we have the buyer broker agency agreement and all of the documents that go with that, as well as any additional documents you may need. Then, when they're ready to write an offer, there's a buyer offer brain dump. That can be filled out as many times as you need to for as many offers as are created. And then finally, once they get under contract, a buyer under contract brain dump. Before it was possible to do the buyer agency and offer together at the same time. When we get to each of those, we'll explain in very explicit, very clear language why they have been separated. On the seller side, you'll have the ERS, and that's been now divided into if you want to have just the paperwork for an ERS done, or paperwork and photos and everything preparation for the MLS. And then the second one will be when the seller is under contract, the seller under contract brain dump. That's for a total of five. Three on the buyer side because there are three steps, two on the seller side because there are two steps, but each step now has its own brain dump. They're no longer combined. They've also been brought into alignment with changes to the forms commonly used, including the buyer agency agreement, the REPC, the exclusive right to sell, and new forms that the MLS now requires us to use with sellers. Watch these, go back to them, refer to them, because as you often know, many of you know, one of my heroes in terms of working in this realm is Joe the Legal Weasel, the Muppet that was introduced, who is a lawyer and is a weasel, but puts a lighthearted spin on the fact that this does involve law, this does involve practice, this does involve regulations, and making sure that what you do is accurate, correct, and keeps you and your clients out of trouble. As always, as you learn how to use these new brain dumps, if you have questions, call me. I'll help you through it. Let's make sure we do this the right way. Oh, man.